Hello, Danny Smith here. This video I wanted to tell you something I discovered and have been able to I've done successfully on my HB Racing D819 RS. Just recently switched to this car from the 817 V2, and I noticed on the new drivetrain, it's got the outdrives from the DFR La Cup. So there's dog bones in the center. Real free drivetrain, works great. After a short period of time, I noticed on the front, because the angle the front's in, and when you put that cup on there, it extends it out farther. That puts a pretty good angle on the cup where the dog bone goes in. So I noticed a good bit of wear on the dog bone pin. I was surprised at how much it was. So I figured if I put some grease on it, that it'll last a lot longer. Because I know on the older cars, you got a boot and grease on it. And I've just been using like low seed, high pressure grease, that black stuff that comes with a kit. I've had a couple left over, and put that in there, just something to keep it from being dry, and it lasts a lot longer. The 817 pins lasted 2 years. Not a problem at all. It lasted a long time. I probably may have ran them a little longer than I should. So I started thinking back to on low C cars, TLR cars. The 4.0 had a boot that went over a similar cup. So I went to the local hobby shop, see if I could find one. Surely they got them, or some sort of boot. I don't know if it's the TLR, or I figured Traxxas may have something. There's something at every local hobby shop that would probably work. So I went to my local hobby shop, which it was a bad experience. They wanted to look up part numbers, wanted to know what kind of car I had no idea I knew what I was talking about, and just talked to me like I was an idiot. Not really. I don't want to badmouth them and everything, but he told me they didn't even have that part. I said the 4.0's got some. And finally, I just got frustrated and said, just forget it. I'll just go order them online. So I did. I ordered TLR part number TLR 242081. 242081. Because that's backwards. I'm sorry. So it comes with these metal pieces. I was trying to find something a little cheaper. I probably had a ton of these things I didn't use on the TLR car in my spare parts I don't have anymore. But it's got these axle boots and these little metal pieces that you won't use. But I think this part was like $13 or something like that. So anyway, I decided I would just get them and heck with it. And I ordered them online and tried it, and worked out good. So I'm fixing to show you what I did. So I'm gonna pan down a little bit here so you can see the car. So I'm going to take off some things so you can see it. Take off this brace, show you the rear. There you can see on the rear, fits on there perfect. So slide it right off there and keep your grease contained and dry. There's hardly any wear on that now. So, and then it will slide back. It works so good because it'll actually slide back, and a little C-clip on the back, it will actually push over that. Just keep pushing it on there, and it fits right inside there just perfect. Now they line these, I didn't do it there, but it's got this little notch, little stick part that sticks out. I line that up with the pins, and it gives a little more room, and it seems to be working great so far. So I'm gonna fix that so I don't leave it in. Now you got to be a little careful. You be real careful when you put it on. When you slide it on from this side, obviously with the cup side, the dog bone going in the cup. Put a little grease in there and be real careful sliding in, and you kind of like twist it through the hole. And or if you're not careful, even with on the 817 was that way. if you're not careful and grease it, you can rip that boot pretty easy. So be careful with that. So I'm going to tear the front down and look at it, because I've ran this 2 races so far, and I wanted to check out how much wear it had. I might just go ahead and take off the front end. Might be easier. Maybe I should have taken this off ahead of time. See if I can just take this top off. Okay, you can see the front boot is doing just fine. Now, in the manual of the RS, I guess both 819s, you have to do a little bit of filing on the bottom of these steering posts. The arms right here will come in contact with the diff cup, with the outdrive cup. Now, and so obviously, when you add this boot, it's a little worse. So I ended up taking a good bit of material off. Let's see if I can, let me take this off and show you. Take this one off and show you what I've taken off of it. Actually, I gotta take both of them off. Uh-oh. Dropping my nut. So I'm going to take these steering posts out, show you what I take off, and make sure I don't drop these bearings. So, you see how everything's dirty. I just got through running snap hard race yesterday. So, you see I took a good bit of material out. I just ground on it until, I'd like to see them come out with something new to get some more clearance there. I assume they will eventually. But it's got a decent amount of clearance. I don't like that, but that's what you got to do. You even have to do it with the stock cut before the boot. But I took off a little more material, and just careful. Make sure you don't take off too much around this nut to where it won't hold the screw in anymore. And it stays pretty solid. You know, the screw stays in place, so it just these move, and it seems to be doing just fine. I don't think it doesn't look like it's rubbed at all. It's holding in there fine. So I'll slide it off and look at the gear. The pins look great. You know, just put a little, well, you can't see it. The pins seem to be holding up much better. Hardly anywhere. There's still a little wear on the outdrive, but so yeah, just if you're interested in doing that, keeping it well maintained. You know, I bought a bunch of pins to be able to change on there already, but you can see it's kind of it's somewhat of a steep angle. It's not bad, works great, but I think that's causing a little more wear than normal. So I think my idea with the boot worked out great. Nothing, it fits over there perfect. Contains your grease. You know, I put a little grease on the other side too, on the center diff. This is a little tricky getting the boot on there. Anyway, I'll do that later. It slides over there great. You can see, I'll show you once again the back, it's easier to see. You can see it goes and fits inside there just fine. No rubbing. Like I say, I ran two. Let's see. So I ran 4 5-minute qualifiers, or maybe actually 2 8-minute qualifiers, 2 5-minute qualifiers, a 15-minute main, and a 20-minute main with them so far, and working great. So I'll probably get a couple more boots to keep and make that a regular thing. I think it's going to be more durable and hold up longer. So that's the idea I came up with. You're welcome to try it. You have any questions? Feel free to ask. Again, the part number is TLR 242018. It's an axle boot set for an 8 4.0. I'm really pleased with it, and I think it's going to be great. Another thing I do, and several people have been doing it now, is on that C-clip, put the gap on it away from the pin that holds in the outdrive in place, and I put just a tiny drop of CA glue on the open side and on the other side, and never had a problem with it. Some people have problems with them coming loose and losing the pin, but once I did that, I did on mine right from the beginning and never had a problem. So anyway, have a good day, and thanks for watching.